Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and we've got a very exciting Pokemon trading card game set coming up soon, and that is Pokemon Card 151. And since that set was revealed, I am getting a lot of questions from a lot of people who are extremely excited about this set. So I thought it might be fun if we did a video where we just went over everything we know so far, where I can give you all the information I have, and hopefully at the end of the video, either you'll know the answer to all of your questions, or you will know that we don't have the answer to your questions. So the easy stuff then, this is coming out in Japan on the 16th of June, and it is officially Scarlet and Violet 2A. We have just seen the release of Snow Hazard and Clayburst, that is Scarlet and Violet 2, so this is going to be Scarlet and Violet 2A, which incidentally means it is the next set up. 16th of June will be the next Japanese set, which will be Pokemon Card 151. I will go into this in more detail in a future video, but for now, it's enough to say this is very likely to be its own set, very much like Crown Zenith. But again, there's not really got enough time to get into that today. I'll do a proper video explaining all about why that is in the not too distant future. So what is Pokemon Card 151? It is a set featuring, wait for it, all 151 original Pokemon. And none others. And we know there are not going to be any others, because for instance, if we look at Bulbasaur, what is its set number? 1. What is its Pokedex number? 1. Charizard has set number 4, because it's got Pokedex number 4. Squirtle has set number 7, because it's Pokedex number 7. And Pikachu has Pokedex number 25, which means it gets set number 25. This all makes perfect sense. This is lovely. And this is how we know we're not getting any extras. Now, to be fair, there is actually a little bit of space to slip in a few extra cards. For instance, we've got Safety Goggles, which we know is number 157. So technically, we don't know what cards 152 to 156 are. There could be some extra Pokemon slipped in, but there won't be. The whole point of this set is it is Pokemon Card 151. That means that we are getting the original 151 Pokemon. So this is basically the 6th trainer card in the set. And I feel extremely confident when I say that. We know that Mew is number 151, more on Mew in a minute. After that, we're just going to be getting trainer cards. Yes, there is a possibility that they could slip some extra Pokemon in between Mew and Safety Goggles. That could happen. I just really feel confident that it won't be happening. Could be wrong. Feel very confident that I'm going to be right about this. And that is going to lead to some awkwardness. For instance, my boy in Gen 1 is Porygon. I was talking to a very good friend the other day, and they were like, well, how was Porygon your favourite in Gen 1? Nobody got Porygon. Porygon was an absolute pain to get in Gen 1. Yes, it was. It really was. And if anybody played the original Pokemon Red and Blue, you'll get it. You'll understand why Porygon was such a pain. But maybe that's why it ended up being my favourite. But we're not getting a Porygon 2 card, and we're not getting a Porygon Z card. Back in the original base set of Pokemon, we got a really interesting Porygon. And if you were around during the base set, and you were a kid during the base set, Porygon was a very confusing card to you. This was a card that made very little sense because it didn't actually do any damage. It had one attack that could change their weakness and one attack that could change their resistance. Well, Porygon's resistance, the defending Pokemon's weakness. And it was weird, ladies and gentlemen. It was extremely weird. But it was cool. We're going to get a weird kind of Porygon, and it's probably going to look something like that. Because the whole point is that Porygon is an evolving Pokemon, but we can't use Porygon anymore, not as a good Pokemon, because we've got Porygon 2 and Porygon Z. It's an evolving basic into a stage 2. It's not going to be good. There are going to be some weird things like that in this set. There are going to be Pokemon, Magnezone's another example, that were fully evolved, as far as we knew, back in the base set, but now we've actually got more. Magneton was a fully evolved Pokemon in the base set, but now Magnezone is a thing. There are a bunch of those, you're not getting any evolutions, that is going to be a little bit weird. So what cards have gone and been revealed? Well, we've seen some pretty exciting ones. Mew EX, for instance, is a very, very exciting card. It's got an ability whereby once during a turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in hand. Which does admittedly sound very much like Kricketune at the outset, but there are 2 gigantic differences between this and Kricketune. The downside is, Kricketune can draw until you got 4 cards if it's active. This can't, it's always free, whether it's active or not. However, Kricketune, you can only use 1 Kricketune per turn, regardless of how many you've got out. Mew, you can use 4 if you've got 4. And it's actually got free retreat, which is huge. And it's got a really interesting attack that lets you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack for free colourless energy. And we know the rule at this stage, incidentally. It doesn't specifically say that you have to have the correct energy attached to Mew, so you don't. And the combination of really good ability, combined with colourless energy can copy the active Pokemon's attacks, combined with free retreat, Mew EX could be an absolute, star. This could be a phenomenal, crazy, over-the-top good card. Now, we know the Alakazam line is coming back, and this is actually a really big deal, because, of course, this is the first Kadabra we've had in 20 years since we had the Kadabra back in Skyridge. There was, basically, Kadabra is very much based on Yuri Geller, to the point it's literally called Yuri in Japanese. And it's got the whole spoon bending thing, which is Yuri Geller's trademark. And we had Dark Kadabra in English, which basically translates as Evil Kadabra over in Japanese. And Yuri Geller was not happy. There was a lawsuit, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. But basically, Yuri Geller's now cool with Kadabra, and we now get Kadabra back. And we've got all the Pokemon, including Kadabra, and that's pretty cool. And Alakazam EX is actually kind of legit, because, well, it's 90 damage plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench. It's fine. 240 for 2 colourless energy is alright. What I really like is 2 energy, 120, but you can use it when you're on the bench, and I adore this with Klefki, because we've got the new Klefki from Scarlet and Violet, which blocks abilities when it's in the active of basic Pokemon, but it's got a garbage attack. But that's fine, because you leave Klefki in the active, and then you attack from the bench with Alakazam. I kind of love this, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of love this. For anyone that's wondering, Kadabra does 30 and switches to the bench, and Abra doesn't need translation. It's a vanilla card. Now, in terms of Pokemon, they're the good ones we've seen so far. There will be plenty more revealed in the future, but they are the good ones. They're the EXs. They're the ones to get excited about. We've also seen a Bulbasaur that for 2 energy does 20 and heals 20. We've seen a Charmander that for 1 energy discards a Stadium in play, or for 2 energy does 30. And we've got a Squirtle, which is 2 energy 20, or single energy, flip a coin. If heads, it takes no damage from attacks during your opponent's next turn. Oh, and the Pikachu I should mention, shouldn't I? The Pikachu's got single energy. Search your deck for a basic lightning Pokemon and attach it to this Pokemon. Which is cool, I suppose. Hopefully there is a decent Raichu with which to combine it. That'll do. That'll do all right. We have seen a couple of trainer cards from the set, however, and these are looking very good, including safety goggles. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I hate this card. I don't let my children use that word. It's a bad word. They're very, very small. But I hate this card. It just takes away weakness of basic Pokemon. I legitimately despise this card. This card makes me less excited about playing the game. Genuinely makes me less excited about the game. Because I like making counter decks. And when you're taking out basic Pokemon, the best way to do it is hitting for weakness. This takes away weakness. I hate this card. This card sucks. I kind of, when I first translated, and I did all these translations myself, when I first translated this card, I genuinely hoped I'd gotten it wrong. And part of it was, it can't be that bad a card. It is that bad a card. Boo! But yeah, taking weakness away from basic Pokemon so you can't counter them with weakness. No. Hate it. Hate the card. The other trainer card we've seen is Giovanni's Charisma. This is a supporter card that puts an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon back to their hand and then lets you attach an energy from your hand to your active Pokemon. And as a side note here, yes, you have to get rid of one of their energies. If you don't get to attack. That could be really, really important, for instance, on turn 1 going second. If you're trying to go for that donk, that turn 1 win, then it's really important as to whether you can attach that extra energy to do so or not. So they are all the cards we've had revealed so far. It's not a huge amount, but Mew looks like a genuine, legit top-tier card. Alakazam EX is very interesting, and Safety Goggles, like I say, I despise the card, but it could be a very, very big, impactful card moving forward. There are a couple of other products that we've seen revealed as well, and they are the card files. Now, as it stands at the moment, there are 2 of these, and each of them gets you a card file, i.e. a little binder, one featuring a Pokeball and all the silhouettes of the 151 Pokemon, and one featuring the first partner Pokemon. I know you can only see Venusaur and Charizard. Blastoise has to be on the back. The name, I mean, look at the bottom of the pack here. It literally has the Japanese names for Venusaur in green, Charizard in red, and Blastoise in blue. So you know Blastoise is going to be on there. Each of them also features 5 booster packs, and then you've got the same promos of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, but it is worth pointing out they are promos. They are not the same, either in terms of artwork or effect. They are not the same as the Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, which are in the set and have the numbers, set numbers, and all of that, which is actually extremely cool. And as it stands at the moment, that's what we know. That is what the set is and how it works. That is the release date. That is all the other products we know about. That is all the cards that have been revealed. That is, as it stands at the moment, the sum total of our knowledge about the Pokemon Card 151 set. I am extremely hyped about this set. Hyped to the point that as soon as they revealed it, I went and restarted Pokemon Blue. The original, I'm not talking remakes here. I'm talking old school Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy. I love this set. I love the idea of it. And we've already seen a couple of really impactful cards, so it might be a special themed set and all of that, but I think this could be a set which has a big impact on the metagame. We've already seen some, but there could be more, ladies and gentlemen, and that makes me very excited indeed. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know how excited you are for this set. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. Actually, I want every single person listening to this, and I mean everyone, to tell me their favourite Gen 1 Pokemon. I've already told you mine is Porygon. I'd like to know what yours is. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon, card games, Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Tobias DePrato, who's been a supporter of ours for a while and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.